Okay, guys, welcome to the next episode of the Strong Dad Army podcast. This week, my guest is two-time Super League Grand Final winner and two-time Challenge Cup winner and also former International Rugby League player, Harrison Hansen. Welcome on, pal.
How you doing, mate? I'm good, thanks.
Time, mate. Yeah, cheers for your time, mate. Really appreciate it. So I know obviously you're an hour ahead of us. You're living in France at the minute, mate. Is that right?
Yeah, it's lovely, mate. Lovely part of the world.
Yeah,
nice and sunny. Yeah, weather's great, mate. 30 degrees every day, so no, I'm not complaining.
No, I've been crap here this last couple of days. Well, in fact, it was nice yesterday, mate, but it was shit today. Absolute shite.
Yeah, no, I've been the boys on WhatsApp groups, back in the UK. I've been just keep taking pictures of the all weather forecast. Bright sun every day.
Right, Paul. So, like I tend to do with all my guests, mate, we start pretty early on. Just sort of talk us through, your childhood and that, really, mate, if you can, because obviously I know you. Obviously, I'll let you tell the story, but I know you had the opportunity as a rugby player to represent like England, New Zealand, and Samoa, didn't you? Is that right?
Yeah, mate, yeah.
How did that come about? Was it were you born in New Zealand, born in the UK? Tell us your story, mate.
Yeah, mate. No, it's a long story. It's so. Obviously, my dad was a professional rugby league player in New Zealand. He played for the teams over there are Auckland when they were a national side. So they played Australia a few times, and they beat them. He played for local teams in New Zealand, and then back in 1990, he sort of wanted to change, and he kind of just thought, have a crack over here. So he sent a tape over just of his highlights, and I think Salford at the time picked it up, and the next minute we're all over as a family. So it was my mum, dad, and my sister and me. My dad signed for Salford and played with them for 2 or 3 years. But yeah, I would have been. I was born in New Zealand, obviously, but I came over when I was 5. So we lived in and around Swinton, Worsley. That's where we first. Yeah, that's where we first lived, and then. I think by the time when I was 7, that's when I started playing. I don't know. I can't remember whether. I think my dad just took me to training once. I wasn't really. I wanted to follow my dad into follow my dad. It was just took me up as you do, as you take your 7-year-old, and that was at Folly Lane in Swinton.
Yeah,
that was my one and only amateur league club, mate. So I didn't. I didn't move from there. So obviously I started when I was 7, and then I played under 8s, under 9s, 10s. I always played a year above my age, so that kind of helped me a bit. And then I started playing. Playing for Salford schools, and then probably like under 11, under 12, 13s. That's when back then was when you sort of represented Lancashire and South Lancashire. So you used to have like South Lancashire against North Lancashire, and then you play a game, and then obviously you get picked for Lancashire. So the likes of my team, I had James Graham. I was playing with like Dave Allen, James Graham, a lot of James Coyle. There's a lot of good lads that are still playing now. There were we started off in those representative side, and obviously we'd have massive games at Leeds and Headingley against Yorkshire. So that was my first time kind of start of representing Lancashire and stuff like that. And I was fullback, mate.
No way.
To be honest with you, I was fullback. I was fullback from about 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I was fullback, mate. I was fast. I was skinny, but I was never a fullback, mate. I couldn't catch a high ball to save my life, mate. I don't know how I got there. I was a good tackler, I think. So whenever they broke through the line, mate, I always cut them down like my dad. So and then I think from about 14, we played against Blackbrook down in St Helens, and I went there and just heard rumours. There was a Wigan scout there. His name Jacko. So I played the game, and I had a pretty decent game, and he approached me after the game and just said, "Hey, H, look, man, that was a good game. You had a really good game there. What do you think about coming on the Wigan scholarship?" And I wasn't really a big sort of rugby league fan, if you know what I mean. I watched yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed watching it and that, but I didn't really follow anyone. But obviously, back at that time, I knew Wigan were obviously one of the best teams. So, yeah, man, I jumped at the chance to jump on the scholarship, and it just kicked off from there, man. I used to walk up to Swinton to the train station after school, after college, most nights, and then jump on the train, go to Wigan Wallgate, and then walk to the JJB Stadium. So that was my night. That was every night, and I progressed through scholarship. Ended up playing under 17s, Wigan Academy. Dennis Betts was my coach then.
Yeah.
And then under 17s, and then under 18s, and then when you're playing amateur, obviously, then you can't really choose your allegiance because I'm not starting the first team yet. So it just came as a thing. I got picked for England, and then we went to I got picked for England under 18s. Went to Australia and New Zealand. We played the junior Kiwis, played the Aussie schoolboys. We beat both of them. When we played there, we played the Aussie schoolboys. We played against Greg Inglis was fullback. Michael Dobson. They had a whole list of Aussie boys that are playing now in the NRL. So, and the junior Kiwis. I was playing against Isaac Luke, Manu Vatuvei, C.S. Oriola. So it was some big names back then when we were 18. Yeah. But then when I got back, I think from obviously when I was 18, when I was turning 18, that's when I signed professional at Wigan, and that was my first professional contract. And then from 18 to obviously 28, and it was good 10 years there, man. I was all Wigan, and obviously 07, 06, I got picked for New Zealand Kiwis for a one-off test.
Mm-hmm.
That was against Great Britain.
I remember that.
I was at Knowsley Road, so that was my first sort of taste of international rugby. And it's funny, we did obviously we were practicing the haka, and it was the first time, I've never done the haka before properly. So we go out, the national anthem and everything, and then we stand in front of the GB, all those Moza and all those names there, and doing the haka, and I'm stood at the back. I'm not standing at the front, but I'm all in it. I'm going hard. I'm standing off the bench, bear in mind, and as soon as we finish the haka, I'm dizzy. I'm that pumped. I couldn't see anything.
No way.
I just started pulling my eyes because that pumped. I'm walking off. I couldn't see a thing. But no, that was a good experience, man. And then the following year, I got a call off the Samoan coach.
Yep.
And because obviously my mum and dad are part Samoan, and my grandma's Samoan, so he just said, okay, we really want you to be involved with Samoa. We're building for the World Cup in 08, and we'd like to be on board. And that was it. I played a couple games there to qualify for in 07 to qualify for the World Cup, and then then 08 came. I went to Australia. In Australia for about eight weeks, and played in the World Cup over there. Nice. And that was best. It was awesome, man. It was one of the best sort of tours I've ever done. And we got to go to Samoa for a week before the World Cup. And how beautiful it is that after once we got knocked out, man, we underachieved in the World Cup, but the team that we had, because we had a stacked team. But we got knocked out by Ireland. Other teams, Ireland knocked us out. It was right because obviously I knew when we played against them, we did our Civital, which is the equivalent to sort of the haka, Kiwis haka. Yeah, I was watching. Stu Littler was on the other side, in the line. And we were doing it, and he was just, do you know Stu?
Yeah. I know Stu. I know Stu and his wife Tiff. Yeah.
Yeah, well, Stu, man, just doing just. Smiling and giggling, doing his usual, fucking just laughing at us. And we were like, fuck this guy, we're going to get you. But man, we never did. And they knocked us out, and that was it. That was the end of our tour. And, good thing, the Samoan sort of president sort of paid. Said, look, if any of you want to stay on for 5 more days, come back to Samoa, and everything's like, we'll pay for everything and all that. So, man, I had a good 5 days that trip back there, and
nice.
It was great, mate, and it was good to see family that I've sort of my dad's side of the family.
Yeah,
I've never met. they met up with me and took me around. So it was good to find out about my heritage, really, because I've been brought up in the UK since I was 5. So I was never really, obviously, I'm too far away from it to,
of course, yeah.
To get to know my sort of ancestors and stuff like that. So that was special, and that was why I sort of stayed with Samoa, because it was really close to me, and yeah, I ended up playing for Samoa for another 6 years, really, and I played another 6 games, so over like 5 years or whatever. So, but then and then from Wigan, mate, we obviously, I mean, if you want me to talk, and then obviously, 210 is when we, no, mate, obviously, and then 210. Obviously, all the stuff happening with Millwood. You know, when Millwood came in 06, and then we were battling relegation, and then Brian Noble came.
Crazy time for Wigan, that.
Yeah, my God, it was an awful time, mate. I
can imagine. Can only imagine.
Back in 06, I think we were that down, but I think we had St Helens first game. We had like St Helens and Leeds, like St Helens the first weekend, Leeds the next.
Yeah.
We played St Helens, we got beat 70-0, I think, and and then the next week we went to Leeds and we got beat 75-0. So it was just kicking off try. It was like, wow, my head was going, crazy. What the hell was happening there, mate? It was crazy. And man, to be in relegation, so to be at the bottom there, battling relegation was unheard of for Wigan, really. So
absolutely.
But then Nobby came and he fixed a lot of things that were wrong. Brought Stu Fielding with him, mate, and Stu Fielding was massive. He was still a big player back then. When he came out, it just gave everyone a massive boost, and we sort of resurrected our season. The second half of the season, and we got out, and we ended on a good finish. But then 08, 09, mate, we were sort of underachievers. You know, we were like the nearly men team. We would get to the playoffs, but we would just get knocked out straight away. So, and then I think 010 came, and then that's when obviously Nobby got released, and we brought Michael Maguire in, and he brought a new trainer in, and made just a few new other sort of additions to the staff. And what a year that was, 210. I consider Madge being probably one of the best coaches that I've ever had in my career. He kind of, the way that he sort of coached and how detailed he was and methodical, mate, like the Melbourne Storm standard, he brought that straight to Wigan, and he brought the rest of the Melbourne.
Yeah, well, he clearly changed things massively, didn't he? Because obviously,
he did, mate. And we had the same team as 08 and 09.
Yeah,
I think we only brought Paul Deacon in for 210.
Yeah,
and maybe I think Mark Riddell. No, that was it. Mm-hmm. So we pretty much had the same team, and I think it was the hardest pre-season I've ever done. It was the fittest I've ever been, and it was the fittest that a lot of the lads had been. You know, we got Madge's pre-season was ruthless, but it put us in good stead. And and obviously we've gone through that year. We ended up winning, mate, and that was one of the greatest feelings I've ever had, mate, because, as I said, Wigan for a long time have always sort of been knocked out, and I think the last grand final they were in was 2004, and I think they got beat off. I think it was a bit off Bradford, I think. So back in 04, but so it was a long time, and mate, the celebration after that 210, mate, was immense.
I can imagine.
Kings of Wigan, mate, King Street in Wigan and Walkabout back then. So that was a great time. And then 11 came. Obviously we didn't make the finals there, but we ended up winning the Challenge Cup, and and that was a massive, great achievement. I think that's when Madge brought Sean Wayne on board to be assistant coach in 2011. And he's also up there with who I rate amongst the top coaches that I've had in my career. Him and Madge, they really work well together. And we ended up winning the Challenge Cup. So another party down in London. We stayed in Mayfair in London, which was probably the most expensive part we could stay. So you know, paying for the drinks after them. We were trying to get these free tokens, you know, we were promised, but we only ended up getting about 3 or 4, so we had to like pay our own way sometimes. So that was yeah, I know. I've been the Hilton in Mayfair, so that was spent some money there, mate. But that was it was all worth it. And then 2012 was sort of, I think, well, when Madge went, Wayne just obviously Wayne took over, man. It was obviously it was a no-brainer for him because I've always loved him as a coach. You know, had him sort of. I was involved with him in a lot of the academy stuff when he was academy coach and all that. So,
he's at Wigan a long time, weren't he? Even in the academy setup and that, because he didn't just turn up into the first team. I know he was there for years, weren't he?
Yeah, mate, he's been there for bloody ages. But good thing is, about Wayne, he's a great sort of motivational speaker. I think he does a lot of speaking seminars, you know, outside of the rugby, but speaks about his philosophy and stuff like that. But I think back in 2010, whenever we had big games like against Leeds or St Helens, just before we go out on the field, Madge would get Wayne in. Wayne would just come in and get in a huddle and he'd just give us a pep talk, man. Yeah, it was unbelievable how he got us up for the occasion. So he was always great, and you can tell now when he talks, you see the passion and the sort of real, you know, enthusiasm that he's got, and it rubs off on us and rubs off on players, and that's why you play the game, and especially when you play Wigan under Wayne, under Madge, the coaches that you don't want to let down. You know, you want to go all out, and you don't want to let down. So that was a good thing about being at that time. The culture and everything was good. So, but yeah, I think 2012 we underachieved, and I think it was just probably the transitional period with Wayne and that. We nearly got there, and but mate, we kept faith, and then obviously 2013, that was what year that was. That was a special year, you know, when we won the double. You know, for a team to do the double, really, you know, to win the Challenge Cup, you sort of fade away towards the back end of the year. But mate, we continued and we stayed on top, and
I remember.
It was a great time, mate. So.
Yes, obviously 2013 was the. Am I right? That was the World Cup in.
Yeah, the World Cup
that year, wasn't it, as well?
Yeah, that's right, mate. I got picked for the World Cup, and I think Roy Asatasi, Roy Asatasi.
I know.
He couldn't make the Samoan trip, and he would have been the captain, but he couldn't make that trip. So obviously, there was captaincy up for grabs, really. And obviously, I got picked after the grand final, and then we trained and stuff, and then I can't remember the bloody coach. What was his name? Well, it doesn't matter anyway. But he picked me as captain, and
nice.
So I was captain Samoa for the World Cup, and it was weird, mate, because obviously I've got a strong English accent, a Pommy accent, mate. So it differentiates when I'm with a few of the Kiwi boys. You know, I can sort of. I just joined to different accents. When I'm speaking with my wife, and I'm back to good old whatever Swinton or English, whatever. But mate, it's weird. I don't even know what accent I've got. So, so I got picked there, and then obviously talking to the boys, especially the NRL boys that are coming over, they're all looking at me like, look at this guy, this Samoan dude with this Pommy accent. So it was a bit surreal for them, but they soon got my respect, and I think we had a warm-up game against England Knights before the first sort of game against the Kiwis, and I've gone into a tackle, and Sia Soliola's come from the other side, and we both tackled the same guy, and boom, my legs and he's just swung around, and boom, did my knee. I did my lateral ligament.
And he's a big dude, man. He's a big guy.
Yeah. I completely took my legs out of the way. I went over on my knee, and that was it, and injured. So I never got to play in that World Cup.
Missed the whole World Cup,
Yeah, I missed the World Cup, but I stayed involved with the team and stuff like that. And then, But yeah, in the meantime, with that, mate, with the transition of going to Salford,
yeah,
there was a couple of players in the Samoans. Tony Pulatua, he just signed for Salford, and then I was hearing like Francis Melly, Randy Chase, Tim Smith. Everyone was like Marwan had come in, and he was getting all these players in, and new revolution, wasn't there? So
yeah, absolutely.
I still had another year left on my Wigan contract. I think I had an option year, and Wigan took that up. So I should have been there 2014. But I think Wigan came to me with contractual talks, and we just weren't seeing eye to eye really, and we kind of sort of were butting heads. And then Salford came in, and Marwan and offered me a deal that I couldn't turn down, mate. And especially with the family, with my family, me and my family.
Yep.
It was too good to turn down, and as much as I didn't want to leave Wigan because I loved it there. I was probably the second under Shauna Lockers. I was the next player who was like the longest serving player there at Wigan. It was only Lockers, so I was proud to be there, and I always thought that I would end my career at Wigan, but mate, things happened, and Salford came in, and they offered me a deal that I couldn't turn down, and eventually, so Wigan had to sort of, just give in and sort of let me go. So yeah, I left Wigan and joined Salford for. Obviously, I signed for like a 4-year deal, but went for 2 years, and it was just, mate, it was the biggest roller coaster I've ever been involved with. Just with Marwan being a new new owner, new into rugby league. You seen how he was, just all fanboy and stuff, mate, and so it's like that. It was like that being in the team, mate, and it was an enjoyable ride, mate. It was a roller coaster, but it was a fun roller coaster. But in the end, things happened behind the scenes, and it didn't work out, and I sort of cut my 4-year deal. I did 2 years, and then and then that's when sort of Derek Bowman got in touch with Leigh, and just him and Paul Rowley sort of approached me and that, and we had talks, and we kind of sort of I think Tim Sheens was at Salford at the time, and I really got on with Tim Sheens. He's a great coach. You could tell why he's been the Australian coach and stuff like that. So he was a great man to have to be involved with, and he sorted things out. He smoothed things over, and he let me go. And I did have other opportunities to go elsewhere. I had other offers to go other Super League clubs, but during my time at Salford, I just moved to Pennington. And obviously my wife's from Astley, and her sister and her parents live around sort of Leigh. So, and two of my best mates live in Leigh as well. So we moved, because I lived in Wigan, and I was travelling from Wigan to Salford, and being on that M61 was...
Oh, man, it's awful, isn't it?
Yeah, it was awful, man. And it's like, we can't do this. So we decided we moved to Leigh, to Pennington, around the East Lancs. And so when Leigh came knocking on my door, I was like, man, this is Leigh right outside my doorstep, so I can literally walk to training in 5 minutes. So that was a big sway of it, man. That was a big sway, and but just through what Leigh had done previous, been done well in the Challenge Cup and that, and they just got knocked, and they just got kicked out of obviously the middle eights. Just that made us so. So Leigh made some signings. They signed me, I think Rennie Mature, Corey Patterson, and who else did they sign? I think they said Rangi Chase.
They had Rangi for a little bit, didn't they?
Yeah, signed Rangi, and we had Willie Tonga, we had Danny Tucker. We had a great league team. So it was great, man. I signed there in 2016, and obviously we had a great year there. We lost one game, the first game of the season against Batley. We lost, and we all thought, "Oh God, this is not happening." But then we went unbeaten all the way through, mate. And then obviously came to the middle eights. We knocked off Salford, knocked off OKR, knocked off Huddersfield, man, and boom, we made it. So to make Super League, that was always my goal. That's why I signed at Leigh. And that was that's why Derek sort of brought us in. And yeah, some of the best times in my career I have had at Leigh. It was great. And then obviously we're up to now, so we're up to 17. So yeah, Super League in Leigh. That was huge for the town, wasn't it? It was
massive, mate. Yeah,
it was. Made the Leigh fans something special. I've got a lot of time for all the Leigh fans, and and to this day now, I still get a lot of good messages off the Leigh fans and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously when it all went tits up in 2018, when I had to leave, I didn't want to leave. It was the last thing I wanted to do, but just the way I left and the way things sort of, obviously we didn't make that. We missed out on our top 8. The way we missed out on the top 4, sorry, and we did all we could, but I think it was the damage was done too early on in the season when we lost a lot of games. And I think when Kieran Purtle took charge, he was outstanding. He's an outstanding coach, Kieran Patel, and obviously he's up there with the Wayne and the Madges, and he turned our season around, and we nearly got there, mate. I think we'd done nearly quite enough. We were just 1 point away off the top 4, and I do think if we'd made that top 4, mate, I think we probably would have made it back up to Super League. I definitely believe that, and that's just how close it was and how disappointed it was. But maybe we played on the Sunday. I think it was like against Rochdale. I think we won. So we'll go around the fans and that, and then next minute, hear that the other team, other results haven't gone our way, and boom, we were out.
That's it, out of your hands, nightmare.
Yeah, it was awful, man. We're sat in the changing rooms, just going, couldn't believe it. And then Monday, man, we came in, did swimming and stuff, recovery, and then we had a meeting. And then next thing we hear is, wow, hurts like boys. Some of you are going to be, some of you won't be here next week. And we're like, fuck. What the fuck's this? What does that mean? So Derek's just not going to get paid, or this and the other. Derek's going to pull his money, this, and we're like, fuck. I didn't have an agent at the time, and then Kieran sort of took me aside and said, "Hey, should you got an agent?" I went, "Nah." I said, "Oh, can I help?" PT, Dave Pete.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
PT. Been at since I've been living at Leigh. I always the cool with I used to go with Neil Bassett, who's one of my best mates, and Ben Cottrell. They're two of my really good mates, and always used to go there and hang with Petey and that, some drinks. So I rang Dave Pete up and I said, "Mate, what's happening there?" I said, "Can you sort of help me?" So he I went with Dave Pete, and I think Tuesday, Wednesday, it was like up in the air. I got a call off Francis Cummins at Witness, because I was good friends with him. He said, "Hey, mate, what's happening at Leigh?" I said, "I think I'm gone, mate." And he said, "Well, mate, we'll take over your contract, this, that, and the other, and I want you here to try and help us get out of this middle age." So, I think Witness was at that time. Witness was the only sort of option. I think there might have been one more. I think there was Salford, but I decided to go with Witness because I was good friends with Sandy and that, and mate. So from like Wednesday, so Thursday, I'd signed at Witness, and then on the Friday, man, I'm doing captain's run for Witness.
No way, crazy!
It's just
what a turnaround.
Crazy, so fucking from Sunday to playing, Monday meeting, then 2 days in between, man. Friday, I'm doing captain's run. I'm like, blew my head away. Like, I'm fucking going, what the hell has just happened there? I couldn't really take it in.
Crazy,
and just to leave like that, man. I didn't want to leave like that, and I wish things could have sort of worked out, but what it is, man. And I did that, and I played on Saturday against Cass, and we got beat, but I scored my first try. That was good, and and then man, just talking to the Witness fans after the game and upstairs, it was just surreal. I was like, I couldn't believe I'm here. It's just how things will work out. So. But obviously the middle eights wasn't a good Witness were in a sort of poor losing streak, and we tried everything we could to sort of get out, but you know as man, once you're in a bad rut, those trying to get out of that and you know these standards and all that, trying to get them up there, it's just not working, mate. And I ended up getting relegated there, so that was another sort of that was my second relegation. Obviously, got relegated again from Leigh, so that was a bit strange to take, but anyway, I signed. I re-signed. I just signed for another year at Widnes. Decided to stay there because the players were great. You know, the coaches, the staff, and all that. We managed the staff were, you know, the people that worked at Widnes, mate, was great. And you know, like I said, the Widnes fans were, you know, I didn't really know much about. I knew all about Widnes, but I hadn't really been into Widnes that much.
Yeah.
And so joining Widnes and then just experiencing sort of how much like the bubble Widnes town is as a rugby league. It was kind of like Leigh as well, you know, just their own little bubbles. So no, it was a good experience, and obviously when it all fell apart that next year, 2019. So at the start of the year, that just when we went to administration, mate, that was a horrendous time. You know, I've never been through that. So that wasn't nice, but luckily we managed to get Kieran put. You know, I told the sort of the CEO and that, man, you've got to get Perts, you know, but because Leigh were in a downward sort of spiral as well. Weren't as bad as ours, but I knew Perts probably wasn't that happy, so I managed to I was just going, mate, we've got to get Perts, and credit to Widnes, they managed to get him, mate. And I think if it wasn't for getting him on board as a coach, you know, I don't think the team would have been near enough, you know, what we were like during that season, mate, because he's a big, massive part. So, you know, he got us together, he kept us together, and made that year. The highlight of the year was obviously reaching the Wembley, mate, for that 1885 Cup. Obviously beating Leigh in the semi-final, mate. That was it was a bittersweet moment. I won't lie, mate. It was. I mean, at first off, everyone sort of wrote us Widnes off, which is fair enough because of the you know of what we've been through that year leading up to that game. But I think all the talk was obviously with Derek and, you know, wanting to get to Wembley and that. So yeah, that was on our things. And then obviously we played. It was a great game, and we managed to score some decent tries, mate. And and obviously when that hooter went, mate, it was special. But I mean, it wasn't because for me personally. It wasn't because I'm back here at Leigh. I've knocked Leigh off the sign over. I got emotional because it was my third time reaching Wembley again, even though in a different cup, if you know what I mean. So that was it was a personal achievement for myself. That's why I was so happy. So you know, it wasn't because it was just it was Leigh, mate. Because I've got a lot of friends at Leigh, and I was disappointed for them. You know, I was good for them, but in that bittersweet moment, I was happy because I was going back to Wembley again for the third time, but in a different cup. So that was special to me. And so obviously we got to Wembley, mate, and we come up against a good Sheffield team. And look, mate, Sheffield are one of those teams that they always stick at you, and they're always there or thereabouts. Obviously, I played them a lot during my times at Leigh and that, and they're always a decent side, and you know, they're well coached by the coach there, and they pipped us on that day. So it was, you know, I would have liked to kept my sort of winning record.
Of course, mate.
It would have been nice. Yeah, it would have been good, but made the better team won on the day, and that was it. And then so towards the back end of the year, I wasn't sure what I was doing. You know, I knew I wasn't going to re-sign at Widnes. And I was just seeing what my options were open out there, and there were some options. But then we played Toulouse at Widnes, and you know, I'm really good friends with Paddy Vivai, who's our proper, because he was at Leigh, wasn't he? So So I was good friends with him, and he just said after the game, said, "Hey, what are you doing?" I'm like, "Fucking, what are you doing after this?" I went, "I don't know, man." He said, come to Toulouse. I was like, "Yeah, you reckon?" I went, "Yeah, man. Like, our coach loves you. You know, he wants you here and stuff like that." So from then on, man, I sort of spoke to my agent and that, and then things started moving, and yeah, probably about a month or two down the line, sort of things started moving, and then I signed for Toulouse, right, and and then skip forward to now. This is where I'm at in Toulouse, man. I love it here, and this is why I re-signed again. I re-signed for next year. Mate, it's great. I wish I'd come to sort of France earlier in my career, mate. I really enjoy it. Just the lifestyle, everything over here is just nice and relaxed. Mate, obviously the sun is bloody hot every day, and mate, it took some adjusting to driving on the right side of the road, on the left side of the car, mate. So my wife had a few curbing the old wheels and that, but no, it's been enjoyable, mate. And you know, like I said, we're all learning French and stuff and adapting to life over here. So no, it's
Are the kids getting on with it?
And then obviously, we've just been getting on with, mate. And obviously this, you know, what I was looking forward to being with Toulouse was sort of doing the travelling side and obviously, you know, coming over to UK and playing and then flying back over. So, you know, that's what I was looking forward to. And I think I only did it once because we played our first game. I think, who did we play? Oh, my mind's on blank. Anyway, we did it once, and then I think I got banned from the game, and I got a ban from the game. So when the team came over again, they played Whitehaven. I stayed back in France, but they played that game, flew over, and then boom, next minute COVID starts. So
crazy.
That was it. So it was crazy, mate. So I was like, oh man, I was looking forward to traveling back and forth, but as it turns out, mate, it's no, we're lucky. We're lucky out in France, to be honest, because the government have been paying our wages and we get 100% of our wages. So
that's good, isn't it?
You know, that's a good thing. Yeah, that's a good thing about the French government, mate. They certainly look after the people, and so we've got a full wage, and maybe we're stuck at home, but I would rather be over here, stuck at home, you know, in the sun and stuff, and able to chill. And now things are relaxed now. Yeah, things going back to normal. The bars are all open. Obviously, I think the bars opened here probably a couple of weeks before the UK.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, you still got to wear your masks here, there, everywhere. But mate, it's pretty relaxed now, and obviously we're all just waiting for the RFL to let us know what we're doing, mate.
Nobody knows, do they?
Oh, mate, it's ridiculous. Like, they expect us to sort of the season to recommence in August, but they're only going to make a decision 2 weeks before August. So it's you've seen in the NRL like how many injuries they've got, man. They only probably had a month off. We've had like nearly 3 months off. So and they expect us to train our bodies and get it right for a game. It's just not going to. I don't know how. It's going to be a bit much, mate. And because bearing in mind we do a pre-season for 2 or 3 months to get our bodies right for the season. So to sort of have maybe less than a month to try and get right to get that contact-wise and all that, it's a bit tricky. So, but for Championship side, I know Super League's starting, but Championship side, I can't really see it starting again, mate, because I just think there's not enough money, especially if they don't let fans in, especially in the UK, they don't let fans and the likes of like Whitehaven, the likes of, you know, Rochdale, that sort of rely on that sort of gates. If they don't let anyone in, there was no point playing. And if they scrap promotion and relegation, what is the point in playing? There is no point in playing. So
absolutely.
So if they call the season off, then great, man. We'll have some time off. We'll get away over here, go travel a bit, and go to the East West Coast. Go to the beaches and stuff, and then we start back pre-season. We can have a good long pre-season before we start the season. So, but no, mate, I've been really enjoying it, and obviously, yeah, my kids are here and stuff, and have a day school out there, so they're off for 6 to 7 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Up with them and doing traveling around. It's good, mate. And obviously, my wife, she's along for the ride as well, so she's adapting as well. And it was tough when that's what the boys said. You know, the first sort of month and a half was really tough. Just trying to adapt. You know, with setting it up and your banks and all that stuff. It's just everything takes a long time. So, but we've found our feet now, and yeah, we're enjoying it, mate. So
yeah, it's good stuff, man.
Yeah, other than that, mate, it's been good. It's just looking forward. I want to get back playing, of course I do, but it is what it is. What can you do, mate? It's the same for everyone.
I can only imagine it's giving you guys your body's a bit of a decent rest though for a change, isn't it?
Oh, mate, it's extended my career, mate.
But it has.
It's given me another 2 or 3 years. You know, I'll be playing till I'm 40, probably. I reckon. I feel in good shape, to be honest, and I'm in good shape. And obviously, yeah, this rest has done my body good. It's got any of those little aches and pains I had with all disappeared now. So yeah, it's just a waiting game, and it's just nothing else we can do. So we're just sitting and sit in the garden and sunbathe and
could be worse.
Food and I know, could be worse. Yeah, it could be a lot worse. So.
Yeah. In fact, funny, going back to you mentioned about Kieran Pirtle a couple of times then. Years ago, when my 2 teenagers, when I used to take them to a judo club and he took his kids there, and I remember, I think there were a few times he'd be on his laptop, you know, analysing footage while his kids would be training. And the amount of times I've sat watching him on his laptop rather than watching my kids training, thinking, gee, he put some serious effort into, what he does.
He always has, man. He always has, because I remember him being at Saints Academy. He was at Saints Academy, St. Helens Academy, and Huddersfield. Where I was at Wigan. I remember him, and obviously when he came on board at Leigh, I'd heard how good he was, but just the amount of work that he puts in, and he's really detailed. He really analyzes footage like you've seen, mate. And mate, the way it comes across when he coaches, it's perfect, mate. He is a really top coach, and it was great to work with him again at Widnes, and it was just I've got no bad word to say about him. So
nice, good, another Leigh lad as well.
Yeah, of course, mate.
Right, mate. So obviously you've told us pretty much everything there is to know, especially regarding your career and all that, mate. So before we sign off, I like to ask all the guys that I get on to give us a bit of a funny or embarrassing story, that maybe won't get you in too much trouble, but just to show everyone who's listening or watching, even that.
It's all right, mate. It's more funny, mate. I think some people might have seen it, but we played. I was at Wigan. I think it was 2011. We played. It was at the Magic weekend, so it was at Millennium Stadium. So was it 11? Yeah, 2011 Magic weekend. I think it's on YouTube, pal. If you type my name in, but this is the story. But we obviously we were playing St. Helens. I think Brett Finch has put a bomb up. He's a massive spiral bomb up. I'm chasing. I'm the back row. I'm chasing it, and it's come sort of in between Francis Melly, in between Paul Wellens, and it's just bounced. They've let it bounce, and it's bounced like in between them, and then bounced high again. Mm-hmm. So I'm just motoring through, and I just got my eyes on it. I'm fucking watching it as it's bounced the second time. It's coming down, and it's coming down just near the goalpost, so just before the try line. And as it's coming down, I'm just motoring from the right side, and I leap. I literally jump. First time I've ever jumped and leaped. I didn't even do it fullback, right? So first time I just thought, fuck it. I just thought, jump, leaped. So I've leaped in the air, and as I've leaped in the air, Paul Wellens has leaped in the air, and we hit each other. But I've caught it, and as I've caught it, his leg, I think with his momentum, his leg swung and hit me right in my stomach, sort of just in between like my side and my stomach.
Yeah.
Man, I've dropped to the floor, and then I've like turned and I've just boom, put the ball down, scored. I've got it, and then all of a sudden, mate, I just got the ultimate wind. I've been wind. I got winded, but I just felt it as I scored the try. I've scored, and I'm just keeled over. It was the worst, mate. It was the worst wind I've ever had.
Yeah.
And it felt like I shit myself. I honestly, it felt like I dropped my guts. That's what it felt like. So I've scored. I'm on my arm. I'm clearing. All the boys trying to get me up. Going fuck no, and I feel like I thought I literally have shit myself. So I've got up and I'm walking back there, and our physio's next to me walking with me, and I'm going, I've shit myself. It's going, what? I'm fucking shit myself. I think, give me a towel. So he's giving me a towel, but then when I'm walking back on the Millennium Stadium, they've got the screen on either. They got on both sides at the top.
Yeah.
So the camera's on me. So I'm looking at the camera, and the camera's there next to me. And I'm like, turn around. I'm telling him, can you turn around? And our physios go, hey, can you just turn around? So he turns around. But unbeknownst to me, there's another camera on me, the TV camera. That's on the TV, so it's still on me, mate. So I get the towel, I fucking put it behind my ass, and I start wiping my ass. I'm telling you, and I look at it, and the camera's right on. I look at it, and there's nothing there. So I just throw the towel back at the physio and walk off. And then after the game, I had loads of messages just of that video clip, just Harrison Hansen wipe ass. So if you people go on YouTube, Harrison Hansen wipe ass, mate, you'll just see it. And it was I was just laugh. All the boys, all the team after the game were laughing their heads off. So many messages. So it was pretty embarrassing, mate. But hey, you got to do what you got to do, mate. You got
to. This is it, innit? It's just try and not do it in front of God knows how many thousand people.
You can't run off and go to the toilet. Just fucking wipe your ass, be done with it.
Yeah.
Play it on. So,
that's a good one. Yeah. Nice one, mate. Right, come to the end now, mate. So I appreciate your time. Thanks very much, mate, for coming on.
Open, mate. Good to chat to you.
Yeah, good to hear your stories, mate. Cracking career you've had, and hopefully, like you say, you'll get those few more years now. You've had a good rest.
Mate, I got another 5 at least. 5 minimum, I reckon.
Easy, man. Easy.
Just got persuaded Toulouse to keep me on as well. So
I'll do. Sure they will, mate. Okay, pal. Right, we'll call it a day there. Take it easy, man. Thank you very much for your time.
Cheers, guys. Thanks, mate.
Cheers. Thanks, mate. Bye.